Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of the NRNRC Black Table Talk podcast. I have none other than
Simone Taylor.
In our podcast room today. We are definitely doing a reentry spotlight, talking about all things returning citizens, the do's, the don'ts, and how we go from just actually surviving to thriving. So, Miss Taylor, kick it off. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Simone. I'm 37 years old. I have been back home and into society and the community now for about 5 years and going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I hear that you've been back 5 years now. Tell our audience kind of a little bit about the work that you do now and the journey that you took to get to this level.
So the work that I do now is purely entrepreneurial.
Yep.
And you know, it took a lot to get here. I think everything takes work, consistency, and just believing in yourself. Sheesh.
I know. And it's important that, like you said, it takes a lot, believing in yourself. To give our listeners some context, how did you get to this point in terms of like, where was your start in reentry, right? Before you came home, tell our listeners so they can get a better understanding of what that experience is like and how that actually helped you look inward to, take care of yourself.
Okay, so before coming home, I did a lot of programs. If I can tell anybody anything, it would really be that I don't think you could ever be too prepared to return into society, especially after such a long stint as myself. I did almost 12 years. But any books, anything that you can get your hands on that will keep your mind stable and confident, read it, take it in, listen to the advice of people that actually are, if you have the opportunity or come across people that are coming in to the prisons or the jails, especially if you've been in for a long time, listen to them. Listen to the things that they can tell you about what the outside world is like. For myself, I took a lot of that in, because even though you're watching the news and you're watching TV, it still doesn't give you the full picture. You learn better from people, with people, and the things that people would come in and tell stories upon how inflation was happening. It was really helping me get prepared and really being able to assess the financial part of being out, what I would need in the price range of rent, hygiene products, clothing, and things like that really helped me get prepared. In the state that I did my incarceration in, which was Nevada.
Okay.
I didn't have family there. So they do have a program where they let you kind of parole to yourself.
Okay. What is parole to yourself, just for the listeners who may not know what that means?
So to parole to yourself means that you do not have to parole to any family member or any halfway house or anything like that. You have to find stable living on your own and have a certain amount of finances on your quote unquote books or bank account, your prison bank account.
Yes. Okay. Come on, financial literacy.
And the PMP or parole will either think that you can do that and succeed, or because people get denied on it if they feel like your history while incarcerated wasn't good enough. Even if you do have all the other ducks in a row, if they feel like your behavioral history wasn't good enough, they will deny you.
Okay.
Fortunate enough, model inmate.
I know that's right. Come on, leadership.
So they did grant me to do that, and I actually had to parole outside of Las Vegas to somewhere I had never been. 45-minute drive. I had no car, but I was able to do this with the help of some friends that I still had that were able to help pick me up and take me inner city to do the things that I needed to do.
Yeah.
But being paroled to yourself is hard.
Okay.
It's difficult because you don't have that mom or that dad or that auntie watching you kind of like that second parole officer. You're really on your own figuring things out. You don't have your caseworker
Yep.
docking and checking in with you every week. You are really doing things by yourself. You
Yep.
have to, it kind of forces you to see what resources are out
Okay.
in the community, because you don't have that person to do it. And I'm grateful that I trusted myself enough to do that. I trusted myself, and I trusted, my faith in God to be able
Right.
to have the confidence to do that.
That is something that I think is very important. I was sitting here listening to what you said, Miss Taylor, and I just thought, is that unique to Nevada in terms of like how they start the reintegration process through self-actualization and giving people who are detained and in detention an opportunity to self-regulate and be self-guided. You know what I mean? And I think that fact that you also shared that peer-to-peer support, even when you're housed in public housing like you were in Nevada, it is a way for you to get perspective on the outside world. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And so, yeah, like you were saying, like, what about, that aspect, right? Time is still going on and you're getting, downloads, updates of the outside world, like you said, that could really prepare you. I mean, a lot of people don't talk about that aspect, Miss Taylor. So I'm so glad that you normalized that and freely spoke about it, because that can help someone. I also wanted to ask though, because you mentioned this, what are some of the literary pieces that you read?
I will always tell everyone The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
Okay.
Tolle, I think it's one of those.
Mm-hmm. The Power of Now?
The Power of Now,
Okay.
yes. A very good book. Really prepares your mind. It gives you an even balance of being present and thinking about the future, but not doing too much thought on the future. It's very imperative for us all to just be in the present moment, because the present moment is what is occurring now. Watching your thought process. How can I say this? Speaking things into existence, manifestation. If you think too far ahead, you're bound to mess something up. You're bound to mess something up. I have to iterate that again.
Okay.
So if you're very focused on what's happening right now in this moment, you and I in this room talking right now, that's all that matters.
Yep.
Nothing else matters.
Yes.
This is the only thing that matters.
Wow.
And that was such a great book. I read that book in conjunction to the Watch Your Thinker, which is another book by Eckhart Tolle. Really great imperative books for the mind, and just really helping me understand that I was incarcerated. My release would come, but where I was where I was, and being able to keep that in the forefront of my mind and staying present where I was actually has helped me now in this future, because I didn't get too ahead of myself while I was there. I had to stay in reality.
Yep.
And not dream
Okay.
about this, because I think that had I done too much dreaming on this moment now, I would be very, very discouraged and probably extremely, extremely depressed, because what I was dreaming in there before I got the book is not what's occurring now.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is such a beautiful story. And I do think that, someone listening will pick up that book and maybe get their own revelation.
Yes.
So I want to transition to, how does your work impact returning citizens, right? So you just told your legacy story about what you've gone through in terms of our incarceration, or I should say, detention, rehabilitation, throughout each state and what that looks like. How does that storytelling that you just shared impact and go into all aspects of your work that you were talking about, like being present in what you experience, but also letting your story be known so that people, like you were saying, peer-to-peer support while you were going through that process, can now be a living, breathing story that helps people really, understand that love is involved in that, and that's what you want to give out.
I really do. It's pure love to people, all people from all walks of life, and my work with, especially with this, with the National Reentry Network and the mentor, the Peer Navigator program, really. I hope that I'm helping someone. I can really honestly just hope and pray that the story that I'm giving from my journey and the things that I've experienced, can I just say this? Like, I heard this a couple of weeks back listening to a pastor, and it really resonated with me when it was the processes where the impatience dies and the character is built. With saying that, just really staying honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself, especially when you are not doing the things the right way. You have to be able to just grasp hold of yourself. So the work that I'm doing now is really just bringing myself back into reality and saying, what's next on the drawing board? Can I talk about I just lost my job.
Yeah, if you want to be sincere and vulnerable, I just appreciate you holding space for yourself and taking space.
Yeah, I just lost my job. I've been very consistent with employment since I was working by day 12 when I got out of prison. Did almost 12 years was working by day 12. And this is the first time in the 5 years where I have been let go from jobs. This is the first time in my life where I have been let go from any job. And right now, I just really feel that stuck. I don't want to get stuck. I don't want to be stuck in wondering where the next monies is going to come from. I don't want to be stuck in wondering if this will be the point of giving up, because it's hard out here. It's a lot harder now, I feel like, than when I first was released from prison. But it's scary to know where the next chapter is for me.
Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional too. We don't have any tissue in here. All right, guys, I'm in here like watering up. I got tears coming down my eyes. Woo. Thank you for doing that, Simone, because it brings humanity to what we as returning citizens really do go through. And the fact that you took it seriously, and like you said, you didn't let an imposter syndrome dictate what your dream was. And like you said, trying to really manifest that, you went through the process and you did the work, which is something that I always tell people that they can't take that from me and they can't take that from you. We put a word into perspective, and I think I like to say it's called grit. And so you have that, you know what I mean? And it'll be with you forever. So just be encouraged.
Yes, thank you.
So that segues into, some of the challenges that we experience in reentry. A lot of times people hearing our dreams, hearing our hopes and aspirations, right? And then not taking us seriously, right? Whether it is an employer like you just shared, whether it is the opportunity to find housing or whatever. What is it that, you would take from a challenging situation that makes us kind of feel awkward, but allows us to say, I've been here before with awkwardness and I can arise to that challenge? And if you have any examples, you can give some.
Can you just give me a little bit more
for example, if you went through a challenging situation where you needed, housing, okay, and you didn't necessarily, like you said, when you were going out of Nevada on parole, you remembered that time and what it took to get on the other side of that. first of all, you proved it to yourself
Yes.
while you were working on that. Then you got on the other side of that, right? When you had your freedom to be able to do it without any policing, you did it. And so has there been any challenges similar to that where you're at now in present day that says, I still did what I needed to do to get housing, to find reliable transportation, to maybe get up every day and go to work? You know what I mean? It could be something very basic as that as a challenge, or it could be something really like where it's human interaction, right?
Can I be really honest about
Absolutely.
a challenge for me? And the reason why I think I overcome that challenge every time it's a thought in my head, because money is real. It's a real thing, and when you don't have a lot of it, especially coming from the life that I've come from, my past, it kind of makes you think, well, why don't I go be a stripper again? Why don't I go be a prostitute again? And those thoughts come. Those thoughts are very real. Those thoughts are very, very real. And then I have to look at myself in the mirror and write a million affirmations as to why I will not do those things, as to telling myself I am beautiful and I deserve my own kindness to myself and my soul and my spirit. And I can't give up. I've not done it for so long. I have to keep reminding myself that was a way of survival, something that I was taught to do, not anything that really needs to be done. That's in a sense giving up.
That's beautiful,
giving up,
because we don't have to just look back to the hashtag Black Girls Rock. I like the way you kind of took that challenge and told your truth, because you're worthy. And any other, woman, girl, child, needs to know that Black girls do rock. The way that you told that story.
We do.
And you're worthy.
And
you're worthy of that.
I am worthy, and I deserve my own kindness. I give it to people that probably don't deserve it. Why not give it to myself? And literally, I had to have a talk with myself this morning and say, what does giving up mean? Giving up right now is to revert back to those old patterns. It's not just saying I'm done and throwing in the towel and sleeping and being depressed for days. No, it's literally getting up to go and do those actions as well, because that's like saying that's all I'm good enough for. And I know that I'm not. I've made it 5 years without having to do that. And I've made it 5 years in a sense of a corporate world and having a title as GMs and assistant GM and management. So I know that I am capable of doing great things as long as I put my mind to it, seek God, put my mind to it, and allow my feet to do the walking.
Oh my gosh. This is just, oh my God. These are like nuggets after nuggets after nuggets.
Good.
Yeah, they're jewels. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's going to really impact our listeners. And I thank you for just being vulnerable as you've been throughout this conversation.
Yes.
So what has helped you overcome those challenges? Like you said, I know you talked about God. I know you have a story to tell where maybe it's more so like mentorship, you know what I mean? I know you do a little bit of that as well. Yeah. So in dealing with those challenges, how has the human interaction been where you have that story, right? But maybe it's like you telling it to another returning citizen. Maybe it's through your advocacy. Maybe it's, simply, saying hello to someone in your community and just like breaking bread with them and just interacting with people and saying, you know what? Let me listen to what maybe some of the things that they've experienced, like you were doing when you said you were in public housing, right? Getting the news and people who were coming in. Do you still practice that as a way to cope and just be in community, right? The human element?
I definitely do.
And you can give some examples if you have.
I did a test, a spiritual gifts test, like 10 years ago. And it really honed in on like my gifts of service and hospitality.
I just wanted to ask, can you give the name of that? Because I know people are heard that and they're going to want to know if you know what the spiritual gift testing is. If not, I'm going to have to like drop it in the comment section. I'll figure it out. Okay.
But I am still in contact with the chaplain from the facility I was in.
Okay.
I can definitely reach out to her to see
I want to take
what
it myself.
that was. So she still has copies somewhere.
Let's continue. You know, I need that for myself and our listeners. Okay, so cool.
No, it really honed in on my gifts of service and hospitality, which makes a lot of sense. I love helping people. I love being of assistance. I will help any and everybody. And in my neighborhood, there are a few people that are older whom I did not know when I first started assisting them, whether that be cooking or cleaning up for them or just helping them rent a car to take them to go wash their laundry. These men and one woman who, bless her soul, has passed away, they all did time. They all did time. And jumping in to help them, I didn't know that. But after weeks of them trusting me and talking and, developing a relationship, I found out that they all did time, and they did lots of time, 20, 30, 35 years, and had been out for equal amounts, just doing the right thing and keeping their nose down. The women that I've mentored since I've been home, just telling them, hearing their stories, and then giving them advice and my story, it keeps in the forefront of what I've accomplished, right? I can see that, like my current mentee, we are really close, and I love it. I love it. We talk, at least text good morning almost every day. I love her. But being able to see that we are in different spaces in life, but we are still going through the same challenges, and being able to have each other to rest and listen to really, really, really is just powerful in itself. I really think we're going to be in each other's life for, if not forever, a long, long time, a long, long time. What else can I say to this? Even a few women that I've met that haven't been in any type of anything, they know it from my story. Having their, I don't really want to use the word acceptance, but their love, having their love and their non-judgmental communion and community really has just, it's really helped me be able to be secure in where I'm at, because there are people out here that invest in people. There are really people out here that invest in people, that do not judge people for how they look or what they've been through, and that really just want to help. I think sometimes it just a lot of people don't really go and seek it, but to be able to be open and be who I am and just share my story with people that I meet really help people tune into other things that are happening in the community.
Oh my God. I just wore I cannot help myself.
You better stop crying, Mr. Sellers.
Okay. What message, we're doing good on time. What message would you give to someone who's returning home this very day, right? Who it's unknown, right? Like you just said a minute ago, it's unknown. They need to, like you already said, be present. But what would you tell that person? It could be inspirational. It could be, like you say, an update on like all the things that you need to get caught up on, technology, financial literacy, going from paper applications to electronic applications, like all of those nuances.
This is something I tell a lot of friends now that are getting out. If you have somewhere to go and somebody that's willing to allow you to take it slow. Take it slow. Seriously, take it slow. I do support self-parole, but only for a select few. Only for a select few, because it really takes a certain mindset to put forth the effort and hit the ground running. I had to hit the ground running. And I think I see a lot of things now that maybe I had missed, not being able to slow down because I had to do so much for myself, by myself, if that makes any sense. If you have anybody that is really, that loves you and that supports you, that'll allow you to take it slow in every way you can. Stay out of the clubs. You cannot make up for lost time. You cannot make up for lost time. And I think a lot of us attempt to do that with our children, with our families, husbands and wives. If they're married, you can't make up for lost time. Making up for lost time will cost you the trip every time.
I think that is some very important advice, because that is the day one. That is exactly what it is. You like myself, we were away. We were away, unconnected. Like you said, unavailable and away, like I just said. And so, like you said, to come to terms with that, it is a powerful thing. It is a powerful thing. And I hope someone can connect with that.
Yes.
Because even though you use the phrase lost time, it is.
It is.
It is completely that. So we have a couple of discussion topics that I would like for you to maybe, we have a discussion topics that I would like for you to maybe consider, talking about or not.
Okay.
It's not a rapid fire, but it's just like, if you could, the first word that kind of comes to mind when you hear this, as far as a returning citizen. Okay.
Okay.
You want to play?
Fun.
It sounds fun. Okay.
Go.
So the first one is employment.
Depressing.
I was like, do.
Depressing. It's
okay.
Depressing.
Next, housing.
Expensive.
Okay. Mental health.
Important.
Yep.
Important.
Substance use and recovery.
Stay away. Substance abuse, stay away. Recovery, if you absolutely know you have a problem. And denial is something a lot of people that are addicts have. You got to admit it. You have to admit it and get in those programs.
Family reunification.
My honest opinion.
Okay. Yes.
Hold off as long as you can.
Yep.
Hold off as long as you can.
I know that's true.
You do not need, I'm sorry, but you don't. Family has a way of triggering unhealed wounds. And those unhealed wounds, when they get poked too much, creates relapse. It creates depression. It creates a lot of things. So it's important. However, you don't need it in your first day. You don't need it in your first week. You don't need it in your first month. You probably don't even need it in your first year.
Yep.
Hold off on it. It's okay to talk to mom. It's okay to talk to, it's okay to talk to them. 10 minutes every couple of days, maybe even once a week. But if you still have a lot of trauma, when those unhealed wounds get poked, relapse is going to happen. There's no way around it. It's going to happen.
Okay. Another, I guess, good or big word would be restorative justice.
We need more of it.
Okay. Do you want to expand or go to the next one?
I do. Punitive justice is common. It's everywhere. It's all the time. Restorative justice, I think, gives both an ear to the person that was harmed and the person that did the harming. And I think the community, all communities, no matter where you are in the world, need to definitely consider restorative ways of justice. It shouldn't always be who did it, this is your punishment. No, okay, I did it, and this is who I did it to. What do you need from me to feel safe again? Because I probably did it because I had an addiction and was high why I did it and didn't realize I did it. That doesn't say that person needs to go to prison or to jail. That person needs rehab and maybe some counseling and therapy.
Okay. All right. No, you gave a one word and then a little expression about that. Yes. I like it. Advocacy.
Advocacy. Love it. Do it as much as you can. Even if you haven't been incarcerated, do it.
Public safety.
Team effort.
Okay. Education and training.
Everyone deserves it.
Entrepreneurship.
Encouraging it.
Voting rights.
A must.
All right. Policy reform.
I mean, I think that goes hand in hand with restorative justice.
Okay. Community healing.
Important.
Financial literacy.
Double whammy important. Yeah, we don't have enough of it.
All right. Peer support.
I love it.
Okay. So thank you for, playing our little, one word rapid fire in terms of all things reentry. These are not exhaustive, but these are just some of the things that are top of mind in terms of our storytelling.
Thank you.
All right. No, I'm glad you played along. So we kind of talked about a few things. I want to move on to key takeaways, right? So what are 3 things that you would like to have remembered about our conversation today? And so that, people can, have that with them and be able to take action.
3 key takeaways from today, from I guess the things that I said would be definitely don't give up. Sheesh. I think I'm a little nervous answering this question.
Take your time. But I think that's a good, reality. It's the truth. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
On any of the things that we listed, right? Yeah, education, restorative justice.
Any of the things. Don't give up. Mm-hmm. Seek a community. Seek a safe community. I wish I had more of that in my first 3 years of my newfound freedom. Seek a safe community. Not every community is safe. And if you've been in that housing before, you have knowledge upon what's safe and what's not safe. Mm-hmm. Don't play with yourself.
I think that's a really good point. Yeah. Safe environments, just to expand on that, what are safe environments that you found yourself in, right? You know what I mean? Like you said, what you said, I think it's really powerful, but can you name a few safe spaces so that way people feel like they could also too find what that is? It's one thing to know the reality, right? What are you trying to, not be, what is the word? Have access to, right? If you have access to an unsafe environment, where can you go for a safe space?
Where can you go for a safe space? I'm gonna be so real. A lot of people are not gonna like this.
Do not say. Okay. Are you about to say the library?
No.
Okay. I was about to say.
No. Sorry. No. Let me tell you something though.
Okay.
There were a couple of times when I was still in Nevada where I would just go and sit at the parole and probation office.
Yep.
I would just when I knew that I had just spent a night doing something I probably shouldn't have been doing and I needed to regroup and collect myself, I would go sit right down there and just sit out in the waiting room for no reason, not expecting to see anybody. I just needed to put myself around those people that were just coming home or doing their check-ins.
Yeah.
Seriously. Another safe space, once I came to DC, I started putting myself around, I guess you could say, professional people. Very uncomfortable because I wasn't used to that. But it also gave me an insight of what I wanted for my future. Dealing with people that weren't in the streets, dealing with people that probably didn't know too much about the streets, that talked about other things, that talked about travel, I didn't know any, I still to this day don't know too much about that. But those are safe spaces as well because they are challenging your brain. They're challenging your brain, your social skills. They're challenging a lot.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. All right. So what are some resources in which people can, connect with us as reentrants, right? And I don't know if I just made up a word, but returning citizens. So that way we can network. So that way we can, be in community. That way we can, do some positive things, volunteer, happy hours, like stay within the storytelling, right?
Yes.
And stay within manifesting our dreams. So where can we go? It could be, social media, upcoming events. Where can we find our network?
Believe it or not, Instagram will, if you just type in either restorative justice or returning citizens, it will pull up a lot of people, and you can type in like I've done that before, where you go returning citizen DC or returning citizen Las Vegas. It'll pull up organizations in your area. I actually found the National Reentry Network through ChatGPT.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
That is so cool.
It's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
I found you all through ChatGPT. I literally typed in, oh my goodness, I'm about to tell this story, okay?
Okay. I'm holding on to the edge of my seat.
I was looking for a way to get out of work one weekend, and I typed in fundraisers. I told my boss I had a fundraiser to go do. And I did. And I typed in fundraisers for returning citizens.
Yeah.
And literally the fundraiser that you all hold around Christmas time in December popped up. And I said, I'm going to buy a ticket to that right now.
Yes.
That's where I'll be going. And literally bought a ticket. I showed my boss that I had a ticket for that. And then I showed my friend. I said, have you ever heard of this program? And she actually paid for me to be a part of the raffle and helped me get a dress to come. And that's when I was really introduced to you all and have not left you since. Also,
oh my goodness.
Yes.
All through ChatGPT.
All through ChatGPT, I promise.
And I want to just say, for those who have not tried that, it is not only one of the ways to stay in network,
yes,
but it is also a way in which you could basically, find that opportunity just to, I don't want to call it decompressing, but just to be around your people. Mm-hmm. that have a similar common ground. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Oh my goodness.
That is important too, but you have to make sure, again, it's the right. I have been a part of some organizations that
I know what you mean.
Weren't.
Can you just talk a little bit about that, since you're talking about how you got connected to the Reentry Network just by typing in fundraising?
Yeah.
I know for me, it was volunteerism. I volunteered and I'll just share a little bit, over at CFLS for 3 years. You know what I mean? And it was just connecting with, a network. It wasn't competitive, number one, right? Mm-hmm. And when you take that out of the equation and you just are existing, like you're saying, being present and just sharing your story, you won't just be dreaming. You'll actually be in community.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So can you expand on like what you mean by that, like knowing your network?
Yeah. So again, so I guess in order to do that, I have to tell this story. Again, not every program for returning citizens is good. I guess I have to say, before I moved to DC, I had tried some in my releasing state, and I literally had to go to my PO and be like, no, I can't do that. I know you recommended it, but this is what I faced. And I don't feel comfortable in that space being a woman. I don't. It's like, and please excuse me for being all the way transparent.
No, I get that.
It was like you had to sleep with somebody on the committee to get in higher ranks and to surpass levels. And as someone that was really doing her best to step away from her past life, I didn't feel like those were programs good for me. I just didn't.
Wow.
So I didn't do that. And then coming to DC, I really had like anxiety about joining other programs. And I just,
that is the timer for us to wrap it up. No, I'm joking. Okay. I'm joking. Oh my God. No, it's not. Keep going.
I kind of had an anxiety about joining any type of program. And I didn't for like my first year and a half here. And then something crazy happened. And when the DC Providence took me over from Nevada because Nevada screwed up so bad, I was like, okay, I have to put myself somewhere. What can I do? And I needed to get out of work. So I typed in ChatGPT. I found you all. And again, it's been a great experience. I have not experienced any of those things. Another great organization as well would be Voices for a Second Chance. They are, oh my goodness, it's really, really resourceful, really great people. Where you all do not, they do.
Yep.
And they're just, to combine, it's just to have the both of you here and to be able to work with both of you is really, really great, because the women that I know, they're from the her groups that they do once a month. I literally try to refer them here and then vice versa, because I think y'all should come hand in hand with one another.
Oh my goodness. It's a network. That's what we call networking. Yes. I love it. I love your transparency around that. I love you being vulnerable, right? Because there are a lot of things that do go into transition from being detained and coming into the workforce, right?
Yes.
And making sure that you're prepared to be able to do so, and making sure that, as you just shared, people have a realistic expectation about that, right?
Yes.
And I'll let you kind of, end on this. What is the call to action, Ms. Taylor? Not just where you last spoke about, but everything that you just said. What is the call to action?
Call to action would be for those that have not been in situations similar to you and I, listen to people that have been in situations such similar to you and I. Community, get involved, because community really is the line between success and failure. I think that, your all's motto, invest in people and not prisoners, prisons, is very strong and very foundational, because if you took the time to invest in the flesh and blood of people versus the brick and mortar of these buildings that are keeping these people confined and not helping, I think that community, and I think that community and love would then be dispersed to those that probably haven't felt it or know what it is. And I think that's more of what is needed than anything is, love. Look at those people that climbed to the top of the Empire State Building.
Oh my gosh.
Their message was love.
Yes, it was. And it shined through. They climbed to the freaking Empire State Building. And they probably did it in community. They probably let love lead them all the way to the top of that. You know what I mean? But like you said, Miss Taylor, there are people who are just watching on the sidelines. There are people who are going to, like you say, learn and know about that and say, you did it.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Miss Taylor, for coming in today. Thank you for just, I don't want to get choked up, but thank you for just reminding people that there is light at the end of this tunnel. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That, like you said, stay present. And like you just said, cut on the light that actually will illuminate so bright that people will be, remiss if they couldn't grab hold of that. So just one little quick thing. Can you talk about some of the things that you've been helping and participating in here since your fundraiser and getting involved with the organization?
Yes. So I joined the Peer Navigator group. Was it last year? I think about a year ago.
Yeah.
And that has been great. I am on my second mentee, and it's phenomenal. It's really the highlight. Minimum 4 hours of my week that I get to spend or talk or be in, in connection with my mentee, the book club,
And we're reading, I think, The Mountain Is You.
The Mountain Is You, which is an amazing book.
I didn't think I was going to like the book, but I really, tapped in.
I didn't think I would come back to once it started up again. I didn't think I would come back because it was like, that book is too deep. I don't really want to. When they say book club, I'm thinking y'all are talking about some love novel or something.
And it should be lighthearted. It should be fun.
Yes.
Not a lecture.
Yes, that's how I felt. But this book is just it's really good, and it's
Okay, guys, we are actually getting alarms. It's probably because we got to wrap up soon. So, let's finish. Go ahead.
No, it's really good. It talks about self-sabotage, and I don't think enough of us talk about that. It's so imperative, and I think so many people actually are in that state of self-sabotage every day that you don't even realize it you don't realize it. But reading this book has really opened my mind that some of the habits that I have, which are habits, are self-sabotage, and I have to retrain my thinking on a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So it's a great book.
All right.
Yeah.
There you have it, guys. We have none other than the Simone Taylor, awesome person inside and out. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thank you for all that you just did. And I just hope for those who are listening that this resonates with you all, right? That you all take Miss Taylor's call to action and put it to practice. So with that being said, this is the National Reentry Network for Returning Citizens, our Black Table Talk podcast. Let's stay in community, guys, and let's do this work together. We can't do this work without you. Stay tuned for more information, all things CLPM on social media platforms. Like, share, and follow us. And we can't wait to see you in person and actually join us in this fight. Have a wonderful day on purpose.